Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, and this is Game 5, the game I never thought would happen. I was honestly thinking, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do 3 games and then I'll have to put up some anti-spoiler games, but wow, it's here. This is happening. This is Game 5 of the MSL Semifinals, the Bigfile MSL. And Flash is going to be the teal Terran at the bottom right, which is going to make Fantasy the orange Terran at the top left. And this is Polaris Rhapsody, the same map that the first game of this series was on, which Flash won in resounding fashion after a very long Terran versus Terran game. And we will see if the same thing happens here again. Or if Fantasy can turn it around from an 0-2 deficit and come back to win this series. I don't know what to think here. To be honest, I gotta be honest with you, I do kind of hope that Flash wins. I want to see a Flash Jaedong finals again. Can't get enough Flash Jaedong. They played in the World Cyber Games Grand Finals, by the way. Or not Grand Finals, I'm sorry. The World Cyber Games Korea Finals. I won't tell you what happened. I've had requests to cast that, actually. I might go back and cast one of those games, but they've been spoiled for me. I know what happens because someone's a nub and like said it. Like I was in a live stream chat. I think it was in Psionic Reaver's live stream chat, and like I was trying to get the video to work, and someone like came in the chat and said, "So and so just won the World Cyber Games Korea." It's like, oh well, you suck. And someone's just like, why'd you spoil it? And he's like, well, it's on live, why would you not be watching it? To a group of people watching something else live. Anyway, no personal offense to that person, but I was a little perturbed that he spoiled it for us all. And for me specifically. Anyway, Fantasy's gonna scout early, Flash doing the exact same thing. Barracks probably gonna go into a command center again, is what we're thinking here. If he goes like he has in the past, we can see that Fantasy in the top left has actually gotten some gas, and he's pulling his SCVs off gas now. So he's probably gonna go also kind of a one factory into command center build or something along those lines. I guess. I honestly wasn't even paying attention to the builds. I was just assuming they were both going to expand. Anyway, but we haven't seen it. So it looks as if Fantasy's gotten a little bit quicker barracks though, and he's getting. What is going on here? He got a bunch of gas, and he's not doing anything with it, as far as I can tell. Okay, that was weird. So I'm not sure why Fantasy decided to get gas and then not use it. And then pull his SCVs off gas and get a command center. Maybe because he saw that Flash was getting that command center, and so he wanted to match him as quickly as possible, so he pulled his guys off as quickly as possible there. And here comes Flash's SCV is going to get in and see what's going on here. Now, yeah, he's going to go up here, he's going to see exactly what's happening. Oh, unless he's going to get around Ukiz, he is going to see that gas. He saw the command center getting put down a little bit later than his own. So Fantasy, in sort of risky territory here, going for the quick command center before the factory, is, I guess, actually he's not that risky. He's trying to keep up with Flash, but also get ahead of him. He saw Flash had the command center and knew that he wasn't going to be attacking right off, and so that's actually a really good move in a way. He knew that he could get that command center down in position instead of floating it and get ahead of Flash in that sense. It looks like they're probably going to have it happen at about the same moment though. Flash is maintaining his forces over there right now. Fantasy probably is going to send them in just a couple seconds. Yeah, he's sending them right now. So Flash finishing his command, basically getting his command center running just a moment, a few seconds, couple seconds before Fantasy. So things pretty much tied up. So I guess actually kind of a cool move by Fantasy there, pulling guys off gas to get that faster command center in order to place it more safely in a proper position. So pretty good stuff there. Both of them have pretty much evened up now though. And uh-oh, Flash going for the port, and Fantasy sneaks right in and sees the same build that Flash has done. Flash, what are you doing? He sees both the starports there and immediately goes Academy Armory. BAVA for the win. Oh man, that was horrible. Flash moved all of his Marines out and didn't block his choke there, didn't block his ramp. The SCV just, a hurt SCV just walked right in. And now his Marines are running around. They're going to die to these vultures. This is really bad. This is really bad. I don't know what he's... Unless he brought his Marines back. But I think, yeah, he's got him on the left side here. What is he doing with these Marines? He's lured those vultures out at least. And so here he's going to actually come in and kill off a Marine. And now attack this vulture here. But the vulture's just going to be able to micro away from those Marines. What is he doing? Flash is now blocking his choke. Barely blocking his choke to try and buy time so that those vultures don't get into his main here while he attacks with his 4 Marines and his 1 vulture. Looks like he did manage to take out that vulture. Ooh, he's very close to death on that vulture, but he's going to micro it against these SCVs and probably pick them off. Is he going to get one more? Oh, they turn and pick off the vulture. So Flash, I'm not sure what he intended to accomplish with attacking with those Marines when he knew there were vultures on the field. That's very, very strange. And he's persisting with the Wraiths. Wow, so he's persisting with the Wraiths. This is very, very tricky business here. It's not impossible for him to triumph here, but he's going to have Goliaths out. He's going to have Charon boosters soon. He's going to have Comsat soon. So there's not a whole lot he can really accomplish with these Wraiths. And Fantasy took a major advantage in the last game because he countered the Wraiths. And so I'm not sure why. I mean, it was kind of too late when he let those SCVs in, though, I guess. I guess he kind of was committed to it. It would have been pretty costly to... It wouldn't have been that costly, though, to cancel the A starport at least and build a factory instead or something like that. Anyway, 3 Wraiths out now. He's just going to persist in this, and just at least he knows he's forcing Fantasy to play his game, and hopefully this time we'll see Flash get more tanks. And not just go for mass Wraiths even when he's been countered here. Although he did come back in and get some kills once he massed Wraiths sort of later on. And is he going to Comsat? He's waiting for the right moment to Comsat. Once he's got most Goliaths there, he might be waiting for Goliath range to finish. But for some reason he's not attacking these Wraiths. He's letting them fly around cloaked and kill 4 or 5 SCVs so far. So I'm not sure what either player's doing these days. Chasing those Wraiths around, again, just not really, he's not comsetting though to get attacks on those Wraiths. Very strange. Now he does, when he had his Goliaths kind of out of position there. And he's taking another base as well at the top position. So Fantasy again, wow, trying to outflash Flash, but oh, Flash doesn't lose a Wraith, but it gets a lot of damage on that Wraith flying into that Goliath. But he scouts that position and knows exactly what's going on. Will we see Flash do the same thing he did last game and attack early and try and do some early damage against that 3rd base? Or will he see him take his own bases and try and do a macro game here? But wow, Fantasy outflashing Flash. Flash is the one who's supposed to expand all the time. And this time it's Fantasy expanding earlier in many of these games. In the last 2 games, this game and the last game, expanding earlier. And actually the game before that as well, expanding, kind of not expanding earlier. Yeah, actually, to come to think, he's been, it may have been 1 or 2 games he didn't expand earlier, maybe 1 game, but he's been doing a lot more expanding. I just said the word expand like 70 times in a row. But it doesn't matter because Flash is running with some vultures. Does he have the mines upgraded? No, no mines upgraded there. He's just going to try and attack these SCVs, but he's running in with his own tanks as well. Is he going to deploy those tanks, or is he just going to use the vultures? He may try and lure things into those tanks. There he is. He sieges up nearby, running with the vultures as well. He's got siege mode. He's not going to be able to get in with those vultures, but he's going to be able to assault those SCVs on as they run up that ramp. He needs to bring those vultures back though and protect those tanks, because otherwise more vultures could run in. Here comes Fantasy trying to counter this, drops down the racks to try and draw some hits and just surrounds Flash with tons of units and wipes out those 3 tanks. Actually, was it 3 or 4 tanks? It might have been 4 tanks. Meanwhile, Flash just kind of messes around with his vultures. He's gotten several SCV kills actually with these 3 or 4 vultures. I guess it was 5 at one point. Now he has mines available. He's going to start planting down mines, try and lure these guys into the mines. Is one going to go off? That Goliath takes it pretty hard. But just that Goliath, Flash has managed to get that 6 o'clock base up. He's transferring SRVs right now there, and he's doing this again. He's going to try and put pressure on that top position, on that 12 o'clock position, moving some tanks into play up there, trying to control that position, control that top position, and really put pressure on Fantasy and doing containment. Now that didn't work for him the last game, so hopefully it works for him this game. Hopefully for him, I guess. I know there's probably a lot of Fantasy fans watching. I'm sorry, I'm a Flash fan. Anyway, yeah. So Flash trying to establish that upper position there, above, basically at the high ground near Fantasy's base. Now Fantasy, as we've seen in this series, is perfectly capable and willing to move around the other way. When he's contained, he'll go around the other way and counterattack you and just, you know, sack that position, that good position. But Flash is coming in for a drop here. Looks like he's going right into the main. He's probably going to drop some vultures off. They might be able to reap some major havoc here. Vultures dropping out. He's going to start attacking these SCVs, building the extra factories. It's going to slow down Flash's factories here. He's got to plant down some mines though or something. While he's got him, he drops another vulture out in the side, and he's just kind of dropping random vultures out in different places. I think it would have been a little bit better served dropping him in a concentrated location, but he's just being very annoying at this point, and being very distracting with all these vultures everywhere, and using the dropship to very good effect to protect those vultures at the same time. And in the meantime, coming in from the high ground here, his tank's a little bit out of position, but he drops down some mines. If those mines go off, it's epic. Oh, kills off the tanks. Majorly kills those tanks. If Fantasy didn't have the support units there, didn't target the mines, I think they were just barely too close to those tanks that the tanks could not target the mines. The mines went off, took out so many tanks. Flash now has a hugely advantageous position on the top of this ramp. He's unsieging. Is he going to push down farther? He is going to push down farther. He's going to siege up a little bit too close to those mines, right on top of them. Actually, it doesn't matter at this point. If something gets that close, it's going to be... Yeah, it's not going to matter. And takes out the 12 o'clock base. This is huge. Flash may have just taken the advantage he needs to come back and take the last game that he needs to take this series. He's moving his tanks around, though. He's moving them out. I guess he's just content with taking out that base and wants to secure his own base from counterattack, which is exactly what Fantasy's doing. Like I said before, he's perfectly willing to counterattack. That's exactly what he's doing. He's contained on the right, so he's going to move down the left instead. Flash is all over it, has set up some siege line at the... with some mines at the left side, the bottom left as well, to hold that position. He is one step ahead of Fantasy this time. Fantasy has been one step ahead the last couple games. Flash showing his superior insight in this instance at the very least, and establishing that line down there. He knew exactly what Fantasy was going to do, and moved forces there to counter it. He needs to get some siege on that middle though, because as we can see there, Fantasy, well, he's pushing down with a bunch of vultures, but not any tank support. So I don't know if he could quite get in there. Flash now going for wraiths again. I think he might have saved those wraiths actually, but he's producing some more to go with it. This is something that he actually did very well with in that other game with his wraiths. I don't remember if it was the it was the game before last, I think. I don't remember which of the last couple games it was, where he after the Goliaths were kind of cleared out and it became just a tank vulture battle, he went and got a bunch of wraiths again, and since there was only a few Goliaths around, he moved in and was able to pick off lots of SCVs with a clump of wraiths. And this time Fantasy doesn't even have turrets yet. He may be getting turrets right now as we speak, for all I know. Anyway, but Flash trying to take that, and Fantasy trying to take the 9 o'clock base now, and the inside 9. Flash trying to take that top right base. Those vultures still there. Probably just waiting for that opportunity. Flash coming in with another... Oh, actually it was the same dropship, I think. Maybe not. With more vultures regardless. He's going to take out several SCVs, and again, this time he's drawn Fantasy's forces out to the front, so Fantasy's not going to be able to reinforce behind as quickly. He is going to be able to run some vultures back there, take that out, but not before he loses 4 or 5 SCVs. And a vulture, it looked like. Anyway, oh, look at those 2 vultures, are almost dead. Anyway, so Flash is really in control right now. He's got a huge advantage. He's controlling the top right. I don't know if he's pulled out there, but I think he's controlling the top right, sort of high ground. He's got control of the bottom left high ground, although for some reason he's attacking uphill here. Actually, perhaps Fantasy's attacking downhill. Ooh, that hurt. Fantasy taking very few losses. I'm sorry, my video's kind of skipping around a little bit, so it's lagging. I hope that's not showing up on your guys' screen. It might be. If it is, I apologize. Anyway,